And what's up, everybody? I'm back with another video game review. Today, I'm reviewing the Simpsons game. There's been many Simpsons games, and when you think of a Simpsons game, you might be thinking of Simpsons Hit and Run, which I've not played, and this is not a review of that. This game came out in 2007, shortly after the movie, on many different platforms. I played the PS2 version because I found it at a local game store, and no one convinced me that it was Hit and Run, and it wasn't Hit and Run. But still glad I got it because I wanted to give it a try. I'm not the biggest Simpsons fan in the world. I'm not it's not my favorite show, but I know about it, right? So I wanted to give it a try, and I got a lot of thoughts. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? I will say one thing they did really well is they made it feel like a Simpsons episode. They brought the original voice actors, even really like the animation style is very similar, if not the same. During the cutscenes at least, and that was really good. Family Guy video game, they can tell the graphics in the cutscenes are not the same, though they feel the same. They're not. Simpsons game, they look the same and they feel the same, so that was really good. And there's a lot of the usual dialogue and characters that you would expect to see. And like I said, it does help that the voice actors come back too. Yeah, it's pretty nice. The game cliches were really funny, as like a achievement type thing, and also just as like a little funny comic stuff. I mean, I wouldn't call it comic relief, but I would just call it comic stuff. It was kind of cool. I'm glad they sprinkled that throughout the game. Nice little satire humor that you would expect in some from The Simpsons. So, I also really have to credit the hub world in this game. It doesn't have a lot necessarily to do in it, but really just like walking around the different environments, like the town or just even the house or all this sort of stuff. It's pretty cool. I liked it. It just allows you to kind of not necessarily sort of free roam, but as close as you possibly can get to a free roam in just Springfield, and that's nice. I like that. Lots of people complain that it's super boring and stuff, and there's literally no noise, which that's the case, but it doesn't take away from the coolness factor for me. I do find it funny also that EA wrote themselves into the game as like the corporate greed, bribe, take over the city type shit. I think that's really funny, because it's true, and I do give credit to the developers and to EA for going along with that, because you probably wouldn't see anything like that today. And it's cool that they went with it and that we can still see it. Beyond that, I do have to talk about the biggest piece of why I don't like this game. Well, the biggest part that I don't like about this game. I will say the game is a pretty generic platformer. It's, it does have some fun elements here and there. But some elements are very frustratingly cheaped out on, and the biggest one is the fucking camera angles that make it nearly impossible to do anything, at least do anything effectively. Sonic 06 has this similar issue, and the fact that I'm even bringing up Sonic 06 as a comparison game is already not good. But it's like with the camera angle, they make it seems like there's an actual person that is like controlling the camera in the game, because whenever you try and adjust the camera so that you're trying to look where there's an object, it will literally stop. You can't fucking move, and that is super goddamn annoying when you go through a lot of these narrow pathways in like narrow areas, and you want to try to change your camera angle so you can make a jump more accurate or hit something, and you just can't because there's a fucking wall in the way. And they found it that they wanted to make something the most fucking practical. They wanted somebody to be fucking standing behind the fucking camera, so they go oh no, there's a wall there, too bad. It pissed me off. And there'll be other times where, like, I would barely move the analog stick to try and change my camera angle, and the whole fucking thing would just spaz out when do, and it was like, I at one point I'd be looking, forward, and then it'd be flipping backwards, and it's more annoying because the fucking characters, they won't go the direction that they, when you like have to, when you launch something, like when you roll with Homer Simpson, or like you launch shit, unless it, like, sometimes it locks on, but not a lot of times it doesn't. So instead of going where you point the stick to, it goes to wherever the fucking camera is facing. So if you have your stick pointing one direction, but you're facing the wrong way because the camera guy decided to flip the fuck out, you're screwed. And that was really fucking annoying because it would throw you completely off course, and you wouldn't even have time to prepare for it because it was a stupid technicality that they just did not feel like fixing or putting any effort into, except just getting the bare minimum requirements to even have it function, which is really fucking annoying. And it really doesn't help with depth perception on a lot of platform jumps, or, just trying to figure, like, look farther into the level from a point to be able to, like, map your route out. It doesn't help with any of that, and it's really goddamn annoying because a lot of these levels are pretty fun designed. I like, some of the levels that we do in this game. Like I said, they're generic for the most part, but they've got the Simpsons-esque vibe to them, and they are still pretty well designed, but it's really hard to enjoy them when you cannot see where you're going half the time because the camera has to be that annoying. And it's really hard to enjoy the levels or dive deep into them for that reason. So that's kind of my thoughts about the game. I'm not the biggest fan of this game. If you're a more hardcore Simpsons fan, I think you will really enjoy this game, and I do recommend giving it a try if you're a big Simpsons fan. If you're not, if you're just a platformer fan, I would still recommend giving it a shot, but don't overpay for this game. Look for a good price on it. Maybe get a disc-only copy like I did, and just go for it, I guess. I do have to get a case for this game, so better work on that. But anyway, for my final score for the Simpsons game, I'd have to give it a good 5. I can't give it any higher score than that. I really wanted to give it at least a 7, and I can't bring myself to give it more than a 5. Sorry, Simpsons fans. No! But anyways, that's going to do for this review. If you've ever played this game, I'd love to know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. I've seen people play this on PS3, and it looks a lot better. I got the PS2 version. Sorry. If there's a significant big difference between the PS2 and PS3 version, then maybe some of these problems aren't that I've talked about aren't as big of an issue. I'd love to know in the comment section down below. But otherwise, that's going to do with this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content, including more video game reviews and other awesome stuff. And until next time, see you guys later. Goodbye.